You look like you've gotten yourself nice and comfortable. Do you mind if I just adjust the sheet a little? Wonderful. I'm just going to make sure everything's even. And it's pulled tight. Good. So my name is Calliope. I am going to be performing your Tui Na massage today. And I'd love to just get right into it and tell you a little bit about it while we're doing the massage. Wonderful, thank you. We're going to start on the shoulders. So I'm going to use a technique called Na Fa, which means grasping. So I'm using these sort of lobster claw motions along the shoulder and the neck. So Tui Na is a massage modality, part of traditional Chinese medicine. It is claimed by some sources to be one of the, if not the oldest, massage modality in the world. It is at least 2,000 years old. And it is used more for medicine as opposed to relaxation. So we are working with the Qi system, the system of meridians, of yin and yang, good. Tui Na means to push and to grasp. So like the Na technique we're using to grasp, we will also use a technique called Tui later. So we're going to focus on this sort of recipe, which is a general health and wellness recipe, because depending on the malady that is diagnosed, there are different makeups or different prescriptions of Tui Na for it. We're just doing kind of a basic one today. Then we will come to the face. I'm just going to start by wiping my thumbs across the forehead here. Working my way over the brow to the temple, and then we can come behind the ear and work under the jaw to the chin, behind the ear, under the jaw, down. Good. There we go. And then from here, I'm going to put my thumbs alongside your nose and go up along the cheekbones and just trace that zygomatic arch right here. Good. Now, we are going to do a technique called Yao Fa, which is this rotation technique. So I'm just going to take your head in my hands and give it a little bit of rotation. So I will be supporting your head. Don't have to worry. just going to do a little bit of rotation here. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit. And back again. Good. There we go. How was that? Nice. Very nice. So go ahead and put you right back here. Good. Now, I'm going to do these little pinching motions, but I'm not going to really be picking up the skin. Let me show you here. Just these little kneading motions here. And I'm going to do this to the fleshier parts of your face because there's not much to grab onto where it's close to the bone. So we'll stick to the lower half of the face. And then on this side, little pinches. Kind of a stimulating move here. There we go. Down along here. Good. Now we're going to come behind the head here, and I'm just going to do what's called an on technique here. So we are going to be working with a particular meridian point. So right between the sternocleidomastoid and the trapezius. We're going to press in, release, press, release. So this is gallbladder 20. It's also called Feng Huai. Please forgive my poor Chinese pronunciation. And it means wind pond. Release, press, release, press, release. And then we have triple burner 14, which is going to be a little bit behind the shoulders here. So right at the end, we are going to press, release, press, release, press, release. So this is the An-Fa technique, the pressing technique. The massage movements in Tui Na differ quite greatly from Western massage. It can be a lot more vigorous at times and sometimes much more gentle, but the idea is medicinal. So we are going to work with the arm. I am going to uncover it here. And we're going to use the Na technique along the entirety of the arm. So I'm going to use both hands to start. And then I'll use one hand in a moment. Just want to cover the whole arm. Now with one hand, I am going to hold large intestine 4. This is called He Gu, and it is the joining valley point in English. So I'm going to stimulate this between the two fingers here, first two fingers, and do the Na technique all over the arm here. Working to rebalance energy and promote good health and wellness. Then we have large intestine 11. So that's going to be on the outside of the elbow here. I'm going to stimulate both large intestine 4 on the hand and large intestine 11 on the upper arm here, or I suppose the elbow. So this is the crooked pond point. We're just going to press, release, press, release, press, release. Good. And then I'm going to come down what is called Tui Na. So, for example, my 4 fingers together, this is 3 sun, and this would be 1.5 sun. It is a Chinese unit of measurement using the body, so it's relative to the practitioner's body. We'll go 2 sun down, and this is large intestine 10, or Shou San Li. We'll just press, release, press, release, press, release. Good. Okay. And then I am going to be wiping down the arm. I'm going to start here at the shoulder, come down and bring my hands off with a little bit of force. Smoothing down the arm. And then we're going to use our tweet technique. And this means pushing. We're going to do this between the metacarpals in the hand. So right between here, these bones. And I'm going to use my thumbs to push. Good. Pressure okay here? In addition to having different techniques, this Tui Na massage also works with areas we don't usually think of working. Now for the wrist here, I'm going to be wringing it. What I mean is I'm going to be taking it with both hands, and one hand goes one way, the other one goes the opposite way. And it's not going to be very hard. I'm just going to move the skin a bit, hold, release. Go the other way, twist, hold, and release. Let's do that a few times here. And then we're going to yao each finger here, rotate it, and then pull off. And my hands are a little on the moisturized side, so we'll see if they pull very well. Sometimes if there's not enough friction, you don't get that good snapping noise. Rotate and try to pull, rotate, there we go, pull, and just giving each finger a little turn. Nope, not that one. We'll see about the thumb. A little bit. So let me cover up this arm. And we'll switch to the other side. Just uncover this arm before we get into gnawing it. An A, not gnaw as in R. Working the grasping up and down the arm. I'm going to hold your hand, my thumb, right on the webbing there for our large intestine point. Our table really wants to get involved in the movement. Because this massage has a lot of fairly involved techniques, it often makes a lot of noise. There we go. Good. So I'm going to keep a hold of large intestine 4 while we come up to large intestine 11, and we'll press, release, press, release, press, release, press, release. Good. And then down, we'll come to Shosang Li. Press, release, press, release, press, release. Good. Pressure okay when I press down? Okay, just making sure. Come up to the shoulder and wipe down the arm. And then let's get our Tui into the metacarpals. Using my thumbs to push. Good. Okay, and then we can ring the wrist here. So I'm just going to move you right here so that I can go this way, hold, release, this way, hold, release, this way, hold. Just do that a couple of times. Good. And then our Yao Fa. We'll rotate the finger and there we go. Rotate. Your fingers don't feel very dry, so maybe that's part of why they don't want to snap. It's just because there's a little too much moisturization happening here. There we go. Pinky. And the thumb. Alright, very good. So let's go ahead and put this back. Just pull the sheet back up, get that all nice and tight here. And then we will work in on the chest. For the chest, I'm going to press down on the upper chest bilaterally here. And then we're going to use a bit of kneading, but I'm going to use the back of my thumb here. And we're actually going to work on the sternum. So I'm just going to rub in right here. We'll start at the manubrium, the top part of the sternum, and the plate is actually the sternum, and then below we have the xiphoid process. This is kind of a light kneading here. And then I'm going to use some palm circles on the abdomen. We'll work in a clockwise direction. And this is called mo fa, the round rubbing. And we'll just keep doing this for a little while, just stroking over the abdomen. I can come up to the xiphoid process here and use the back of my thumb to knead this little tip of bone. And then we're going to do some striking. I'm going to use my fingertips and strike on the abdomen. I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of force behind it, but it's going to be like this. Working in that same clockwise motion that we did with the mo fa. These percussive movements here. Now we can go ahead and switch to the legs. For the legs, we're going to bring in a different technique called guan fa, which means rolling. I'm going to be using the backs of my hands for this. So I'm just going to be rolling the entire leg. It's quite quick. A lot of these moves are pretty quick. This is certainly a relaxing massage, but it's not done for relaxation. All the way down here. Up, just do a few motions here before we bring in the Na technique. Way down to the ankle here. So for the leg, we're going to work with two different meridians. We have the stomach meridian and the spleen meridian. So stomach 36 is going to be outside of and below the knee. And spleen 6 is going to be right here, the bottom of the leg. This is called San Yin Zhao. And we're just going to press, release, press, release, technique before we switch to a sort of striking motion like we did with the abdomen, but we're going to use cupped hands to work down the leg and back up. Either side of the knee, all over the leg. So for the foot, we are going to use a technique called Sa-Fa, C-A-F-A, and this is the scrubbing technique. So I'm going to be doing this on the sole of your foot. I'm using the side of my hand to vigorously rub to create friction, to create heat. Just going to give your foot a couple of rotations before we do our scrubbing. And back. There we go. It's going from different directions to heat up the tissues. And then we will switch to the other leg. We'll just do our rolling. Up and down the leg. A good amount of speed. We'll just go a few times around the leg. All the way down to the ankle. Before we get our knot in. Just get a good comprehensive grasping all over before we do our couple of points. We'll do our awning here, so right below the knee and down the leg with our stomach and spleen points. Just going to press, release, press, release, press, release, press. Our cupping. Either side of the knee. All the way down the leg. create some friction. We're doing a little bit of rotation here. There we go. Now, I'm going to have you flip on to your other side so I can get the back side of your body. We're gonna come back with our guan fa, our rolling on the back, and you can hear the table wants to get involved. Using the backs of my hands, roll all over. And then on the back we have the bladder meridian. So I'm going to press rub, which is not just the press and release, but the press and rub there. This is just lateral to the spine. So I'm going to start on the upper back and then just work down. Pressure okay here? Okay, good. All the way down to the low back. And then we're going to do our anfa right on either side, the top of the low back. Press, release. Press, release. Good, and we'll move up a bit. Press, release, press, release, press, release. Okay. So I'm going to have you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, I'm going to press down on the scapulae here. So deep breath in. And out. Good. Deep breath in. And out. Last one. Deep breath in. And out. Good. So let's go ahead and do some kneading here on the back. I'm going to work one side at a time. This has more of a medium pressure as opposed to the light pressure we had on the sternum. The other side, pulling as opposed to pushing. Good. And then we're going to press rub along what's called the Tui channel. This is also known as the governing vessel, and we can access the stimulation areas between the spinous processes. So I'm going to use the side of my thumb here, and I'm going to get in between with both thumbs, one and the other. We're going to press rub here, and then move down, move down, move down. We're going to keep going all the way to the sacrum. And then we're going to do our sa, but we're going to do it with 2 hands together as opposed to just the one. So I'm just going to go all over the back here. We're going to create some heat, create some friction. On the low back. Now even my hands are really warm here. So before we get to the rest of the body, I am just going to do some medium kneading on the outside of the gluteus muscles here. Big muscle group. Super easy to get tangled up. Takes a lot of tension, takes a lot of strength. We'll just do our medium pressure kneading here. Okay, so let me straighten this out and then we can get to the backs of the legs. So we are going to roll the back of the legs. Very similar to the routine we did on the front. And this time I'll just stay on the one side while we do this. We'll do our grasping. And our cup striking. Come down and I'll pick up your foot. And we'll rotate the ankle a bit. The other side. Saw the foot. Good amount of heat. And then I'm going to wipe the leg down. Before moving to this leg here. and some Na Fa here. Foot and rotate it. And the other way. And that concludes our Tui Na massage. So you are more than welcome to take as much time as you need to get reacquainted to the room, to sit up. Don't want you getting lightheaded and feeling unsteady at all. I really hope you enjoyed this Tui Na massage. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your